Yes, you are
Fantastic. All right.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Business Express 981 with Rotus. I am Ayo Myra Say, and I am.
Three names with a hyphen.
All right, we're going on air in a few minutes. How do you put this? Yeah.
You know the government backtracked, Abby? You
In
know
what
they
way?
backtracked on the markets.
How?
So markets are open from 10 a.m. to 2
Do you know,
p.m.
Rotus?
I
I was
told you.
heartbroken to hear that.
You were heartbroken.
Yes.
It's as if you don't want to. You're not listening.
Don't worry, when we come
You're
on
not
air.
listening.
You know, I told you that
You're not
the virus
listening.
has a closing time. It has an opening and closing time.
Look, you cannot shut down economic activity in a poor country.
Yeah,
you
but-
cannot shut
But you
down.
can kill the people in the poor country.
Why
What do you guys think about the government opening the?
did you see a video of a market? Oh, we'll discuss story.
Alright, Mike's up. Today's live. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Lagos, and thank you very much for staying tuned here on Smooth 98.1. Time for Business Express 981, and I have with me Rotus. Every time he comes in here, I expend extra energy.
Yes, because there's so much going on.
debating.
Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, and everybody else beyond. You're gonna give them the phone numbers.
Yes, phone numbers.
0809 444. Wait, 0809 444 0981. So you send your number again, 0809 444 0981. We're on YouTube, YouTube/Smooth91 on there. So
Smooth 91 FM Lagos.
Smooth 91
on
FM,
Twitter,
of
it's at Smooth 981 FM. Use
Yes,
the
indeed.
hashtag Business Express 981. So
All
what
right.
do you have for us today?
So before I know because I don't want to, we'll start arguing now and take up all the time.
No,
so
no.
before I even get there, let me just start with some fixed income and money market information. The federal government's the DMO, the Debt Management Office, sent out a notice saying that they have they've suspended the federal government savings bond offer for the month of April, and they attributed it to the coronavirus and the lockdown. The Debt Management Office sent out a notice stating, of course, the president's address on Sunday, the lockdown, but you know, there are people who live in other states who are not affected by the lockdown who want to invest in a savings bond. So why are you shutting it down? They also said that coupon payments for prior savings bonds will still be paid. We already discussed on this show that the Minister of Finance and the Central Bank governor had received exemptions from President Buhari to allow skeletal financial services continue. They talked about being able to allow electronic activities continue as far as banking is concerned. So why are you suspending the federal government savings bond? You know, these only the people in Lagos, Ogun, and Abuja that can invest in a bond. If you live in Kaduna or elsewhere, what does that mean? So I don't know. Anyway, they suspended it, but
No, but Ruth, sorry, can I just jump in?
Of course.
Do you think it's also because in many other states there are curfews that have been imposed?
No, but Ayo is a bond now. You can you simply if you want to apply, if you want to invest in a bond, all these like my broker, a number of brokers will send you an email. If I even got my email from a broker, I didn't even get it from I didn't know about the press release. It came from a broker which I would normally invest in. You simply, you can fill out the form, right? Or take your phone, take a picture of the form, or even fill it out and then send it electronically to them to invest for you. So it's not like you have to, normally you can physically go in, but there are electronic ways of doing this. Now, of course, they're not open. They themselves are not open, but the fact that skeletal financial services are available, this is just investing in a bond. You can electronically send money, transfer money to your brokerage account to invest in it. There are ways around this, so I don't see why they would have suspended it. But anyway, just going back to the prior bond offers, just a reminder that the rates have been coming down. January, the 2-year bond was at 7.1%, well, 7.14. The 3-year bond was at 8.14. Inflation for January was 12.13. Year on year, of course. February, they now went down to 5.91% for the 2-year, 6.91 for the 3-year, and of course, inflation is at for February is 12.2. We don't have inflation for March. Well, March savings bond fell down to 4.13 for the 2-year, 5.13. So we've been seeing rates coming down as a result of what the central bank did by pushing out non-banks as PFAs and everybody else from OMO auctions and only allowing foreign investors and banks to participate. So rates have been crashing and we've seen, and I was expecting rates to fall again. In fact, the latest primary market auction that took place yesterday for April 1st. They didn't suspend the auction. That happened, right? Let's see now. For the 91-day bills, the stop rate was at 2.2%. I mean, look at that. It's abysmal. The 182 was at 3.2%, and the 364 was at 4.3. The prior auction that happened before that, what was it, about 4 basis point difference, 2.6%, 3.4, 4.6. So rates have been coming down. That's the gist of it. But I disagree with them suspending this bond offer. I think it could have still continued. So it's still a low rate environment. The subscription, which refers to the amount of funds that went after these particular bonds, were pretty high. The offer amount for the 91-day, and I'm talking about the primary market auction now, 10 billion was offered, 20 billion subscription, so it was oversubscribed. The 182-day, 17.6 billion was offered, 28.8 is what went after those funds, and the 364-day, 68 billion was offered, 111 billion is what went after those funds. So you can the gist of this is that when you have more money going after, or more people subscribing for these tenures, it tells you that they still don't care that rates are going down. This is where they want to go into. Stock market is still it's still not quite, it's still volatile. So yesterday I believe the market was down by about 13 or so basis points. The market was down yesterday. So essentially rates are still down. That's the gist. But the investors are like, look, there's no other safe place to go, so we're going to park it with the government. So that's where we are with that as far as the fixed income space is going. Benga Kamu is asking, how much does crude oil cost today? And do you know that Ipman has asked all marketers not to implement the latest cut in petrol price? Really? No, no. The PPRA, Benga. I'll check on that, Benga. Thanks. Benga he's always checking the news. They're already selling at 123.50. We talked about this yesterday. Yeah, exactly. It's everywhere. And the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, this is something that goes into effect for everybody. So that is in effect for everyone. So they should be selling. I don't know why Ipman would suggest that the marketers not sell. Oil prices are still at about 26.27, I believe, for crude. I'll take a look right now and see where it's at. Yeah, I'm showing $26.65 for crude oil. You guys should check out oilprice.com and also download their app. You get updates on all oil prices. Yeah, so crude oil was up by about 1.7%. It was up by 7%. Normally a 7.8% jump in crude would be something to be celebrated, but we're coming from such a low base that's still at $26. It's still quite low. Let's see now what else is going on. I don't know if I want to get into this thing with you, but it's news. It's news. So Lagos, the federal government has backtracked on the shutdown of economic activity. They've actually said that markets can now open between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. I saw this order yesterday that was floating around. So you can see that it's really, really tough to shut down economic activity in a country that is as poor as ours, because if there was a video that was floating around yesterday showing some very discontented people in, I can't remember what area of town it is, but there were some Lagos officials walking around. I can't remember the name of the officials. I can't remember. It was a Lagos outfit though, and there were videos of people yelling and screaming, "You can't shut us down! We have to eat. We have to do this and that." In Kenya, there's a video of a man in Kenya. Some news agencies were out there. He runs a market stall. He was saying the same thing. That how is it that you can shut me down? How am I supposed to eat? I live from day to day. So they've now backtracked now, and they're saying that it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. the markets will be open. What about the risk of this virus spreading? I think about 174 now. Yes, there was 174 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Nigeria now as of yesterday. So the numbers continue to climb. Okay, a couple of folks are confirming what Benga has said, that the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association is saying that folks should. Well, why would you not? It's in the Punch. Yeah, okay, I'll take a look at that. But look, the order has gone through. This is coming all the way from the top. I already bought fuel on Monday at 123.50. So I don't know how they would be arguing for that for the marketers to not pay attention to it. This is from Andy. Andy says, good morning. I still believe the stock markets around the world will be bullish after the coronavirus 19 saga, COVID-19 saga has passed. Hunter investors will be unleashed thereafter. Well, look, I appreciate your optimism, Andy, but so as of right now, there's a story in Nairametrics. This is around the world. Stock markets have suffered their worst quarter, that's January through March, since the 2008 financial crisis. So in the US, here in Nigeria, it's been pretty ugly all around. Tokwe says, good morning, guys. Ipman asked the marketers to continue selling at 125 until their old stocks were exhausted. Punch news of everybody. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. So they're confirming what Gbenga said. So there's the issue of buying your previous stock at a certain price and then having to sell it below. But look, they have a full month to do this. Well, it wasn't really a full month because they revised the price in March down to 125. I can't remember if it was at the beginning of March. I think it was around the middle of March. But the instruction went out that on a monthly basis, the price of fuel would change in line with where crude oil prices are. So it does make sense that of course you got your prior stock and you have to sell that at a particular price. But then at the time when they made the announcement, Ipman should have come out in the middle of March and told oil marketers to keep selling at 145, right? Why didn't Ipman come out and say that they should keep selling at 145 in the middle of March when they've revised it downwards? I think crude now, I say crude, PMS now is down 12% anyway, from 145 to 125 or so. Ipman didn't come out to say anything. So why are they now coming back and say no, go back and sell at 125? What about the 145? So the timing is a little off for me, but I can understand where they're coming from. But then they should have done this prior. So you don't have anything to say about the markets opening at 10 a.m.
But you said, truth. I mean, we're going to be looking at the story during Fresh Press 91, but of course, my thoughts. Lax has a question, and perhaps you echo, which a number of people's thoughts. I thought markets were open before. I thought food markets were open before, and then she's asking what markets is the government referring to now? Also, are all businesses expected to open?
No, this is the specific reference was to markets. So what it is you were only allowed to sell food. That was my understanding of the prior. The folks were only allowed to move around. Supermarkets were open. I went to a Chinese restaurant on Monday and bought food. So if you were selling food, yeah, it was takeaway. I couldn't eat it inside. So if you're selling food, you're allowed. So what my understanding now of markets means that whatever you sell in the markets, you're open from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. That's my understanding. I have to go back. You're shaking your head, but if you own the markets and you literally look, see, there was a video of a young lady who was selling Indomie. I think she was in Balogun Market or Oshodi Market. I can't remember which one. They went to ask her, she was still allowed to sell. They went to ask her, how are you handling the because Lagos locked down things initially before it became a federal government thing. This girl was like, well, I manage, she now said on a normal day, she makes between 1.5 to 3,000. Because to my mind, I'd never really actually sat down to think of how much these people make. They're selling Indomie. I got 1,000 to 3,000 naira is what this young girl was making. And now she's like, now that the lockdown has happened, she's still allowed to sell food, but there's less people coming to the markets, so she's not making that much. How do you survive on 1,000 to 3,000 naira a day? How?
Didn't you have the World Bank's reports that most Nigerians survive on less than $1?
Oh, so because they survive. Okay, thank you. So you are making my point. So they are just barely surviving, making a pittance. Now you're shutting them down and saying they can't sell.
Who's going to go to the market? Do you think people are going to want to go to the market at this time?
Well, look, did you see, you and I talked about seeing buses on the road yesterday.
Yes.
Business Day has an article saying that the Nigerians are flouting the order. They are going out. Yeah, even in the evening when I was going home, I saw more cars. I was like, where are these people going to? People have to move. Activity is the lifeblood of an economy. I mean, I understand the health implications, and we have instructions. Wash your hands, don't touch your face, maintain social distancing, and you will be free of the virus. No, that's what they're saying. So the thing is, if you're going to open a market for people to survive, then you have to make sure that, look, you see, there's some places around town where they put the Lagos government, and they're trying, they put these big buckets of water, they put soap, and they put hand sanitizers on the side of the roads, and they're in telling people to go there and wash their hands. So you do the best you can. But I do not agree with shutting down people's livelihoods that live from hand to. They don't have insurance. They don't have any type of the savings. How can you? I mean, that thing stunned me and shook me. 1,000 naira a day selling Indomie. I mean, it's how. Hey,
I
no,
can't
it's
even
really.
believe you're surprised about the one.
No, but so, no, it's not about, the point is that a young lady like that is selling Indomie to survive, you can't shut her down for 2 weeks. You can't. What is she going to do? So at least you give her the opening to sell for a few hours. She can make some type of money, and then.
So in Abuja today, or
Yeah.
in newspapers today, it says that in Abuja they've given out 20,000
It's
to
not-
5,000 indigent people.
I hear
Now
yeah.
what I feel, it's everywhere in the world. Many people are losing money daily, losing jobs daily, not just in Nigeria,
Right.
even the poorest in society. However, the difference is that the government made provision for this kind of thing.
Yes.
You're supposed to be at home because it's a health risk and you can literally die. So rather than putting you at that risk, we give you money for you to stay at home. That's what government in other parts of the world, not reopening markets.
Fine. My Nairametrics has a number on that article, an article on that figure. It's about at tops is 10 million people. 10 million times 20,000, I think is about 200 billion is what they'll be expending in conditional cash transfers. Okay, how that it's not everyone. Nigeria is estimated to have 100 million people in poverty. We surpassed. Remember, we talked about it on the show now. When we surpassed India, we're having the most people in extreme poverty at about 88 million. Yes, India is at 77 million. India has 5 times our population. We talked about
But don't
it.
forget, this is only Lagos, Ogun, and Abuja.
No, that conditional cash transfer is supposed to, I understand it's supposed to go across the nation. It's 10 million people total. It's still not enough. I said lots of messages. Let's try and read as many as.
So Yinka here says, do you know that the tax-paying population of the country has gotten practically nothing from this government? All this COVID-19 relief billions up and down. Now you're telling me you are transferring raw cash to poorest people. What's the definition of poorest? Who said, okay, was our analyst yesterday, Devo? Who decides who is poor or not? See, COVID-19 has come and go, and we will audit them all come 2023 because they claim a test kit is 10,000 naira, and we know what we know.
Hey, look, Yinka he's always been on the neck of government, so I let Yinka vent whenever he sends his messages.
Emeka is clarifying, saying 3 days after the federal government announced the lockdown in Lagos, Ogun, and Abuja, the government has said that food and grocery stores in the 3 states would be allowed to open between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. every 48 hours. Yeah.
Similar to what Sonolu announced. Let's see here. Yeah, see, that's from Shegun. Read it now. Read what Shegun has sent.
Shegun sends it. No, but this is not a credible source.
No, Nairaland is the most popular website in this country.
It's popular, but it's not always credible.
Well, they have to shout them out because the person who formed Nairaland, I went to school with him. Shout out to Home Science, very smart guy. He was such a smart guy. But okay, it's not credible. So the way they're getting it from, it not be credible. But look, we know that suicides have been going up. We know that if you look at one of the reasons for suicide, it's usually poverty, financial issues, or emotional issues. I'm not a therapist, but anyway, issues are issues. Let's see now. Who else do we have here? Yeah, of course, this number is still functioning. Yes, someone sent a message, and we got your message. We read it. Anyway, Ayo, we'll continue to observe things.
Continue.
One last thing. I was talking to your Instagram audience. McKinsey, which is a consulting firm in New York, has said that Nigeria's GDP could contract by 3.5% this year. For perspective, when we entered recession, we contracted by 1.6%. So that's a more severe figure than where we were in 2016. So please, everybody, brace up. Let's see how things go. That's business. We're back for, I guess, Tech Friday tomorrow.
Tech Friday tomorrow. Yeah, finally something away from all the bullish.
Which is still the same issue now. Still doing the same thing.
All right, Lagos. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. We'll continue talking about this story in Freshly Pressed 981, and that's at 7:30. Please stay tuned for that.
All right. Thank you. Your thing is on.
Rotus. Yeah. Thank you. Rotus.
You can't see people are suffering.
I'm not talking to anybody.
Yeah? People are suffering.
I'm not interacting with anyone again.